Great to have you. So while they were all waiting, they were hearing your song, Good Thing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that song and the whole concept behind it, because it's not as cut and dry as it sounds in the lyrics.
Yeah, no, I mean, the song, I really wanted to also match the music video. I don't know if you guys saw the video that just came out. Thank you. Thanks. It's
Very
like the first.
vintage.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the first video where I like kind of didn't play myself in a video. I played like this older, like, you know, gentleman from the past who goes and picks his girl up in an old school car and.
I love how you said that.
Rain.
It's like, I didn't play myself. I played a gentleman who was very
I'm not a
chivalrous.
gentleman.
It required a lot of
An
practice,
old school
a lot of skill.
I did a little bit of acting, but, you know, we were dancing in the rain, and it was, like, under a marquee, so it was cool, like, the vintage vibe. But the song is basically just about, like, we don't have to overthink it. We don't have to let our friends, you know, label us or get involved. Let's just take it day by day, and we got a good thing going. Let's keep it going. So, yeah, just kind of fun and casual, and that's kind of what the video symbolizes also.
And would you consider, seeing as you were kind of acting in that, is that maybe one of the most high concept videos that you've done then so far? In terms of like preparation, idea?
There was this one video I did called Dazed and Confused. That was like very intricate. A lot of like talking fruits and like just like very like weird stuff. So like that was definitely a video where
Cameo by the Talking Orange.
Exactly. Yeah, there was
that weird
a Talking
viral
Orange.
video, the Talking Orange.
Yeah, that was my video.
Those were the days.
Yeah, exactly. Austin Mahone was in it. Travis McCoy was in it. I kissed a grandma in it. Yeah, it was a great video. Not gonna lie, it was a great video.
So Good Thing is maybe the second highest concept one. So
yeah, that one was like less funny. Like Dazed and Confused was kind of more of like a joke, and I was doing like a little bit of like I was also doing some acting there. I was a supermarket like grocery store
acting, eh?
Bag boy, yeah.
I did see that you tweeted or you Instagrammed recently from packing bags to sold out arenas.
Yeah.
So was the supermarket boy really acting, or did you actually do that when you were younger?
That was my first job when I was 15.
Okay.
I was
so you had all that research done.
Yeah, I had like five jobs before I even got into music. I was just kind of like obsessed with the idea of like making my own money. Just because, like, you know, growing up, like, I saw my parents making money. I'm like, I can't wait until I'm old enough to have my first job. So when I was 15, I applied at this grocery store called Publix in Florida. And, yeah, I was bagging groceries and cleaning carts out of the parking lot. It kind of sucked, but, you know, I had a bunch of really bad jobs. But it kind of...
What is the worst job or the worst day you ever had at work? I had my brother. He's gonna love this. He worked in like a home goods store.
Yeah.
And he went out partying, and he was probably about 18. In Ireland, we're allowed to party when we're 18.
Okay.
Obviously, it's very forbidden here. But he like threw up over the conveyor belt while he was packing the groceries, and
nice.
the vomit.
And he got fired on the spot?
No, they just were like, "Dave, you go take care of yourself." They cleaned it up for him. He was much loved.
No,
so do you have like an equally?
Yeah, I do. I worked at Cold Stone, the ice cream place. And at the end of every shift, you're supposed to take the leftover ice cream and, you know, package it up and put it in the refrigerator and save it for the next day.
Yeah.
And there was this one bin that, like, didn't have that much ice cream left. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just, like, wash it down the drain, thinking, like, it's not enough to save for the next day.
No.
And they freaked out. They said I stole their ice cream. They fired me on the spot. And
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Scraping the morsels.
Yeah, it's like I didn't eat it or, like, steal it and give it to a friend. Like, I was literally just trying to clean up, like, and go home. And they fired me.
You should go back to that Cold Stone now. I'm sure they play your music.
I hope so. They actually, like, lock people. This isn't a joke. They lock people when they first hire you. They lock you in their freezer.
No.
And they make you memorize their little jingles. I swear to God, this is not a joke.
What? That is so weird.
Swear to
That
God.
really
like
illegal.
it's kind of like fun because you're in the locker, like in the freezer with like all the employees that like just got their jobs. So like it's kind of like haha, but it's also like, wait, are we really like locked in this freezer right now? Yeah.
And what were the jingles?
Like
Do you remember the jingles?
No, but like if you tip them like $1, they sing like Cold Stone, Cold Stone.
And they fired Jake Miller, who's a reputable singer. What are they
I wasn't
thinking?
a singer back then, though.
But you still could sing.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah. I hope you're watching this, the guy who
Mr.
fired me
Cold
at Cold
Stone. Cold-hearted Cold Stone.
Exactly.
So growing up then, do you remember, like, obviously, for a lot of us, mine personal was when I first saw Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, that music video for me. So, like, is there a certain music video that stands out in your mind that made you look at it and really resonate with you and think that, yeah, that's what I want to do when I'm older?
Pretty much like any NSYNC music video.
Nice, yeah.
Or any, like, live performance that they did. I was always, like, the kid who would, like, have all the award shows like DVR'd and like recorded or whatever, and then I would go back and watch NSYNC's like live performance over and over again in front of TV and like memorize their dance moves. And like I was Justin Timberlake for Halloween when I was like 8, and like that was like really my love for music. What hairstyle?
Well, the iconic JT from NSYNC, of course.
I don't really remember what my
you could just
hairstyle was.
pull that
I know
out.
I had like the bandana though, because like that's what they were wearing,
Yeah.
and like the sweatbands on my arms. Like, yeah, it was really bad, but that was kind of like the start of my love for music.
So Justin was your favorite NSYNCer?
Yeah, he's still like my idol, like my biggest idol. Yeah.
So Good Thing is off your EP Overnight.
Yeah.
Which has how many tracks on it? 7 tracks or so?
6 or 7.
6 or 7.
7. Let's say 7.
Like, just ask the fans. They won't know
7.
more
It's got 7.
I
make so many songs, so that kind of all gets like blended in my mind. I've made hundreds and hundreds of songs that you guys have never even heard that will probably never come out. So it all gets kind of like mixed in my mind. Yeah.
That's a real tease, and you'll never ever hear them.
Well, you
They'll
hear the
never
best
come out.
ones.
I've made
Just know
hundreds of
you've heard
songs.
the best ones. So yeah.
So
you think, yeah, you never know.
The title track off that EP, Overnight, can you talk to me a bit about the music video? Because we know there's Simone Biles is in that.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So she tweeted me like 3 years ago saying Jake Miller is hot.
And she tweeted it at you,
No,
or
she didn't tag
tweeted
me.
it in general?
She just tweeted it. So
Just
she
like
didn't
a
tag
random
me.
thought. You know what?
Random thought. Jake Miller's hot. That's it. And she didn't tag me. And when she was in the Olympics a few months ago, and all the hype was up, I guess one of my fans kind of like dug up the tweet and tagged me in it. And I thought like she just tweeted it, but then I found out she tweeted like 3 years ago. But slid in her DMs. I slid in real hard. And
Going down in the DM.
And you know, I just I got her number. We started talking. She's a really cool person. She's a fan of my music, so I thought it would be right to ask her to be in the music video. She had never been in a music video before. She killed it, and yeah, she happens to live in my apartment complex in LA now, so I took her to get her first tattoo the other day.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, she's on Dancing with the Stars, and they put everyone who's on that show in my apartment complex because CBS is right next to my apartment complex. So for as long as she's on the show, she'll be living in my apartment complex.
Nice. And you're a good friend. You took her to get her first tattoo.
Yeah, she got the Olympic rings tattooed. Her mom wouldn't take her, so I'm like, I'll do it.
What does her mother think of that now, Mr. Miller?
What did I think of it?
What does her mother think?
Oh, no, her mom likes
That boy's a bad influence bringing you to get your tattoos.
I had no, it was not me. It was not me. I think her dad actually like gave me a bit of a hard time, but I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'll take you, but like, I'm not gonna like convince you where to get it or what to get. Like, I'm just gonna drive you.
And how was the experience for her?
It was fun. We walked in the tattoo parlor. It's where I got my tattoo. It's the only place I knew where to take her. Everybody in there knew who she was. They gave her a free tattoo. They're all freaking out. So it's cool, yeah.
It'd be hard not to get an Olympian tattoo if you're in the Olympics.
She said like all of the
She's right.
Olympic,
She's marking her life, you know?
Absolutely. She said like all of the Olympic athletes like get the same like the rings tattooed. So yeah, it was cool.
And talk to us a bit about your first tattoo.
Yeah, this is my first and last.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the buttons of an iPod for anybody who doesn't follow me or doesn't know me. Symbolizes my love for music, obviously, but then I also have it stopped on 12, like the 12-second mark, just because that's like me and my family's lucky number, and it kind of just symbolizes like through all this craziness and throughout the music industry, whatever, just to kind of stop and remember what's the most important to me, which is my family. So, and every button has like its own little meaning, which I won't get into because it's long. But
we've got all day, Jake.
I actually Instagrammed it. You can look on my Instagram.
Feel free to do your own research, guys.
Yeah.
Why is 12 a lucky number for the Miller family then?
I think it just started with my dad like a long time ago with like Bob Greasy, who was like a quarterback. And it started very casually, but like then me and my sister and my mom, we were all like, oh yeah, 12, 12, 12. And we started seeing it wherever we went. Like this is for as long as I can remember. So like it just like means very, I don't know, it means a lot to us. Like it's more than just like a lucky number. It kind of just like ties our family together.
Number.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because like I feel like a lot of people have lucky numbers, but it's like a more casual thing, and like for us 12 is like a big deal. Yeah.
And most people use the cliche one like 7 or 13.
What's cliche kind of about 7?
I feel like a lot of people like, what's your favorite number? It would be like 7 or 13, like 12. You don't hear about 12 too often.
What about 0?
Ooh, curveball.
Or like 1,486.
Wouldn't look good in a tattoo, though. Not as good on your arm. It stopped at seconds and 1,486 on my iPod.
3.14159.
Not my phone number, I swear. So you're working on some new music at the moment, are you? Because I saw you tweeted how you're going on tour, which we're going to talk about in a few moments, but that you're going to be performing maybe 4 or 5 new songs that people haven't heard yet while on tour.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your new music, because I noticed on your EP, the Overnight EP, there wasn't as much of, say, rap as there was in your earlier days, and it's a lot more electronic inspired. So is the new music gonna be in that kind of range?
The new music will have a little bit of rap, not too much. You know, I just wanted to kind of try something new with my last project, the Overnight EP, and I really wanted to concentrate on my vocals and trying to sing better. I went to a vocal coach. I was in with all these writers and producers who were like really helping me. Like I really truly wanted to become a better singer just because, you know, it makes me more valuable as an artist.
Yeah.
Same way I went to Guitar Center and bought all this equipment and learned how to play piano and produce my own beats. I just want to be an all-around great artist. And maybe one day like produce my own stuff, which is what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Or produce other people's stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've learned in the last 6 months, like I've gotten really good, I'm not even gonna lie, at producing my own beats. I picked up a piano for the first time in like December of 2016, and now I can kind of like kill the piano. So I've just like been spending like 8 hours a day in my room practicing, and it's like, you can learn anything on YouTube. And so all these new songs that you're gonna hear soon, I've not only written them, but now I've actually sat down and made the music, which is like really cool for me, because like I have 100% of the creative control now. I'm making half these songs literally 2 feet away from my bed. So it's cool.
And do you feel in that sense, because it's like they're fully your own, are you more attached to the new songs then because they were made by scratch by yourself?
Absolutely. And one of the main reasons why I felt like in this chapter of my life, it's very important to have 100% of the creative control is because I'm going through my first breakup. And so a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in my songs are like nothing that any other writers can help me. Like they don't know what's in my head. And like being in this place for like the first time in like 8 years, being single, like it's very easy to write a song about this stuff. Like it's flowing out of me, like the songs pretty much write themselves. So it's like, I don't want anybody else in the room to kind of try to help me with a line or help me with a rhyme because like, you don't know what I'm going through. So yeah, just in terms of the writing and the music, like I just want to have 100% input myself right now.
And when are we going to hear those songs? Are we
Very
hearing
soon.
them today?
You'll hear one in like 10 minutes, I think.
An exclusive here at AOL Build.
And that one I rap in too, this new one.
Are we going to hear that today? Bring back the rap.
Jake Killer's back.
Jake. Is this all going to be off a new album then?
I'm not 100% sure what you're going to call it. Honestly, with me, I just make as much music as possible. And when I feel like it's the right time, I drop, you know, a project, whether it's 6 songs or 12 songs. Or my plan, honestly, is to drop like 6 songs in a few weeks. And then drop 6 more songs a few weeks later. And then 6 more songs.
Make it sound so casual.
Like,
just dropping another batch of 6.
Well, it's really easy now that I'm making my own beats. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to wait on anybody. I don't have to wait for producers to send back mixes, or I don't have to wait for sessions to be booked. Like, I'm literally making songs every day in my room. I can make a full song in one day in my room. So I plan to just, now that I know how to do this, I'm going to be putting out way more music. And on Spotify and iTunes, too, and not just SoundCloud and YouTube.
So 2017 is going to be the big year.
Yeah, a lot of music.
So last year was pretty huge for you as well.
Yeah.
So obviously, you went on tour on the 727 tour with Fifth Harmony.
Yeah, that was fun.
So you're very well prepared for this European tour that you're about to sail
it's
on.
been a long time since I've been on my own tour. It's been too long, so I'm very excited to just get out there. We're playing 17 shows. Half the shows are in cities we've never been to. I'm taking my best friends. We have a double-decker tour bus going all around Europe. Like,
That's
it's
like
gonna
an
be so much
absolute
fun.
dream.
Yeah, and we're gonna be going like skydiving in Switzerland and like all this really cool stuff. So I couldn't be more excited.
And it's all your job.
Yeah, and I'm getting paid for it. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem like I should be getting paid for this.
I love how you're just like, and how exactly is this my life?
Yeah, that doesn't even like, I never even like think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like a bonus for me. But like,
You just live in the moment.
yeah, like to be able to go and travel to all these places and with my best friends and do all these crazy things, like I would do it for free until the day I die.
So, yeah, I know that deserves a nice
It's true.
Aww. It's your heart.
Yeah,
It's your passion.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that as your job is a
Absolutely.
massive, massive blessing.
for sure.
Fifth Harmony obviously have like huge arenas. And I don't know how many thousands of people in the audience for that. So how do playing in front of massive, massive crowds like that prepare you or train you or teach you anything in terms of performing? What did you learn from being on that tour?
Honestly, like as weird as it sounds, like playing in a room this small for 100 people or playing in like an arena, 20,000 people, I feel the exact same way on both stages. I always try to, I'm never like more nervous at a bigger show. I'm just maybe a little bit more excited.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing my mom always tells me, like, make sure you treat the person in the first row with as much attention as the person in the back row. So the bigger the show, obviously, the harder it is for me to make every fan feel like I saw them and I noticed them, because obviously there's thousands of people. But I do my best, but yeah.
the smaller shows, you can make eye contact with each and every one.
Smaller shows are sometimes the best. Like, I'll literally sit on the edge of the stage and be like, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What do you do? Like, I've had those shows on tour where I went to a city like Seattle or something on like my first tour, and there was, 50 people, and I just made it super intimate and cool, and it felt like this. And like, some of those shows are the best ones.
Yeah. And what usually is going through your head then before a show, whether it's big or whether it's small? Or do you kind of just like...
Yeah, I kind of just black out.
Yeah, like I feel like that does
when
happen
I'm on stage,
to some
I black
people.
out. Like, I always tell myself,
Are you blacked out now?
No, I'm
This
enjoying
is
the moment.
stage.
I'm enjoying the moment. When I'm on, I've always said, like, it sucks because, like, sometimes, like, some of the biggest things, like, I'm so, like, in my head or, like, concentrated on getting, like, the best, like, crowd picture for Instagram that, like, I don't really live in the moment. So, like, I performed in my hometown arena, and it was, like, the best moment of my life, but, like, I barely remember it. But I have a great picture of it, but, like, I barely remember it. So it kind of is, like, it's really hard to, like, really enjoy the moment. And, like, for this European tour, and even going forward, I'm really going to try to, like, stop and appreciate everything and not live on my phone so much and care about the pictures and just...
Yeah.
You only live
absorb
once.
it all as it
just
happens.
absorb it. Yeah.
So you met Nick Cannon you were like a co-host for the pre-party for the EMAs, right?
Yeah, I've met him
ago.
like 10 times. I've done so many things with him.
Okay, so you met him again last night on Wild and Out.
Yeah.
How did that go? Because like he
It was
Instagrammed,
interesting.
I slept in my victory belt, or whatever it was. A very modest Instagram post. Everyone feel free to check it out.
No,
More
it was
those on
honestly,
now.
it was so much fun, but I did feel super awkward.
Why?
Like, I was just not in my element. Like,
What happened?
everybody in Wild and Out, they're like very loud and energetic, and like they'll jump in the middle of a circle and break dance. And I'm like, I don't dance, so like I'm just gonna let you do your thing. But yeah, I rap battled Nick Cannon, which turned out pretty well.
What was the verse like? What did he say?
I told him he wasn't talented to his face.
Nice.
I don't
Keep
actually
keeping that
believe
in.
it, Nick. If you're watching, I love you. I think you're talented, but that's what you're supposed to do in this show. You're supposed to roast each other. He told me that these shoes look like Yeah, he told me I look like what's his name? Andy from Toy Story.
Oh, he said your
Yeah,
boots look like
I
they
just
belong
forgot
to
his
Toy
name.
Story.
I saw like 10 years ago. What did you say?
He said your boots look like
Yeah,
they
he
belong
said
to
I had
Toy
no
Story.
swag, camel toe shoes, and yeah, stuff like that. And he gave me a pair of like his headphones that he made. Like he has a brand of headphones.
Okay.
He gave them to me like 6 months ago, and I told him I threw them right in the trash. So
Nice, you got personal. You
Yeah.
took it to an insider
I
story
did,
there.
yeah. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then I performed overnight at the end with my band, and everybody was into it.
nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Beautiful.
I think it's going to be on next season, so look out for that. It's
We'll keep
definitely
our
going to be
eyes
on next
peeled.
season.
Well, everyone else, see, how do you already know what happened?
They were there,
You were
yeah.
there. The proper
fun.
military through
Did
the
I look as
core.
awkward as I felt? I looked awkward. It was kind of awkward, I'm not going to lie.
I love it.
But-
Your fans are with you in your
Yeah.
New York adventures.
Yeah.
So we've got to just, when you talked just a few moments ago about playing an arena in your hometown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was this the one when you opened for Snoop Dogg? Because I know that was like That
was
still
my
in your
first show
hometown.
ever.
Yeah, that was still in your hometown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my first show ever. When I first got my first manager, I pretty much told him, this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the studio. I'm going to make all this music. I want to be super famous, but I'm never going to ever play a show. That's not me. I don't like the spotlight. You're never going to get me on a
Really?
stage. Yeah. And he's like, well, okay, well, then I should stop managing you now because that's not how this music industry works.
Doesn't sound too lucrative, does it?
Yeah, I didn't know how the industry worked. And, 2 or 3 weeks later, I got the opportunity to open for Snoop Dogg. We knew a concert promoter who was putting on the show. And I'm like, I'm not going to say no.
So, Jake, you were asked to do that. Were you not like, you'd already said, oh, I don't want to perform, it's not me.
At that
What went
point-
through your head? Did you actually question whether or not you were going to say yes to that? Or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I knew in my heart I had to do it just because, like, that's the coolest thing ever. But I was not the kid growing up who loved the spotlight, who wanted to be on stage. Like, when I did that show, I brought 10 of my best friends on stage with me, just kind of awkwardly dancing behind me because I had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
I had these huge
Bible
aviator
dancer.
glasses on, looking at the floor the whole time. Like, I was so scared.
Is that video online? It obviously
Yeah.
is, it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I performed like my first 3 songs I ever made. It was terrible, but it was...
Was it really, or is that just in your head?
No, it was definitely terrible if you were in the crowd. If you were expecting good music that night, if you came to the show and you were expecting good music, it was definitely terrible. But that was the night that made me fall in love with performing. And from that point forward, I'm like, yeah, never mind. I want to.
Talk to Snoop. Did you talk to him that night or since then?
I met him once since then, but I never met him that night. He had
say
8
then?
openers. I was the first one.
Nice.
I went on at like 9. He went on at like 3. I had school the next morning.
8 openers.
I've never heard of 8 openers either. I had no
Either.
idea. But
Leave it to Snoop Dogg, eh?
he was just trying to sell tickets, I guess. I don't know. But I sold like a bunch of tickets. I went around school like passing around the flyers, selling all these tickets. Half the crowd was my high school, so it was cool.
That's huge. And when you met him, then you've met him once since. Did you
I
did you get to talk to him?
I forgot what it was called. The scooter here? ETV? Ski TV. Yeah, ski. Ski TV.
Oh, on Fuse, right?
Yes,
DJ
yes.
Ski, yeah.
Yeah, we performed on the same episode, so I talked to him then. He probably didn't remember me, but he was cool.
You changed my life.
Yeah.
You didn't remember me. It's okay.
Yeah, he was cool. I didn't really tell him that I opened for him or anything. I'm just like, can I get a picture?
Nice.
Like, yeah.
So I think we have some fan questions
let's do it.
here.
Hi.
Okay, so if you could collab with any artists that are alive, who would it be and why?
It would probably be John Mayer, just because he's my favorite. You probably knew I was going to say that.
I thought
Didn't
you
he
would say
release a
something
new
else.
album today?
He released like the third wave of his album, so now the full album's out. Haven't listened to it yet, but I haven't listened to the last 4 songs. But yeah, John Mayer has like been my favorite musician from as long as I can remember. Like his lyrics and like the way he plays guitar, like
Incredible. Slow dancing in a burning room.
amazing.
Amazing.
Stop This Train is my favorite, but yeah.
Didn't he collaborate with Ed Sheeran on his album?
He did a solo
He did the
on
guitar
Ed
solo.
Sheeran's,
Yeah.
Which I don't consider that as a collab. I want to hear his voice. Like if you're gonna collab on an Ed Sheeran song, like I want to hear you sing. But
I don't even think Ed Sheeran's calling it a collab. I think he was just like,
It's
you just
like,
played the guitar.
oh, by the way, John Mayer played the solo. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
There you go. There's some food for thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Also hit John Mayer up to do a guitar solo on your album.
I actually commented on his like Instagram live, and I was like, "Oh, I love that line about shampoo in your new song." And he commented back.
What did he say? What did he say?
No, he was just like, "Oh, thanks about the shampoo comment." I'm like, my greatest moment ever.
Thanks for the shampoo comment. Okay. Any other questions?
So you went to the Bahamas in January.
Yeah.
What was your family and your favorite water slide there?
What was our favorite? What?
Water slide at the Atlantis. Did you do
Oh
them?
no, we didn't do any.
You didn't
we didn't
do
go
any
to
of them?
Atlantis. We stayed at the
can't-
Cove.
You can't
So-
go to Atlantis and not do the water slides.
I know. We were
You gotta
going
go
to.
back now.
I know. We've done Atlantis before. We've done like the one that goes straight down.
Yep. Is that
and
your
like
favorite?
into like the Shark Tank. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. But we didn't do any water slides this time. It was like raining and kind of cold the whole time. It was pretty unfortunate. So we stayed in the casino and lost all of our money.
Always a good option.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
And who knows? Maybe you're doing a European tour.
Yeah.
There'll be many water slide adventures.
Maybe.
Sure there
Do
is.
they have a lot of water slides in Europe or something?
Yes, I'm gonna say they do. As a European,
Am I not
I don't
in on
have
this?
any
Yeah.
research on that, but I'm pretty sure they do.
We'll find some.
Any other questions?
Hi. Oh my
What's
God,
up?
this is so weird. So I have a question. First of all, I like your boots.
Thanks.
Anyways, what would be a good theme song for your life?
A good theme song for
Ooh.
my life? Trying to come up with like an interesting one. Probably Juju on the Beat. I'm just kidding.
Bands Make Her Dance.
I'm definitely kidding.
Okay.
Candy Shop by 50 Cent. No, I'm just kidding. My dad's favorite song of all time, by the way, is PIMP by 50 Cent. Just saying. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Stop This Train, John Mayer. Hate to say it over and over again, but it's just kind of like a song that always like reminds me to slow down. He's basically saying in the song like, I wish time would stop going so fast, and like I wish my parents would stop growing up. I wish I could not get older, and so that, yeah, just kind of reminds me to live in the moment.
Whew.
It's a
good
really
one.
deep song, yeah.
What's it called? Stop This Train?
Stop This Train.
What's
yeah.
it go like?
Stop this train. I wanna get off and go home again. He sings it a lot better than me, though.
Nice. Well, there's a little teaser of Jake
Yeah.
Miller singing, and that's the end of the interview. But you're actually going to come back in a few moments and perform. How many
Beautiful.
songs? 3 or 4 songs?
3 songs.
Three
yeah.
songs, and one's a brand new one.
One's a brand new one, one's kind of brand new, and then the other one is a song everybody knows.
Nice.
Called Selfish Girls.
About selfish girls.
Selfish Girls.
Oh, it's called Selfish Girls?
Yeah.
Okay. Is
What,
that
do you
off
think
the
I was
EP?
calling you Selfish Girl?
I thought you said it was about selfish girls.
It is about Selfish Girls, yeah. It's called Selfish Girls.
I'm
It's
gonna
about
listen to
Selfish
those
Girls.
lyrics, Jake. Is that off the EP? The Overnight EP?
No, I put it out like 2 years ago, 3 years
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Nice.
But I've always loved that song. I think the fans do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for guys
And
for
best
coming.
of luck in the year to come. It sounds like it's
Thank
going to
you
be
so much.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.